Hello, my name is Madison. I am the 2022 Inspiring Girls Young Ambassador for Panama, and I am here with.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Madison. My name is Shay Saleem, and I'm the Senior Manager of Youth Leadership Programs and Alumni Relations at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum in New York City. Thanks for having me, Madison.
Thanks for being a part of this. So, what is Goals for Girls? I have been a part of it, and how did you get involved with Goals for Girls?
Great question, Madison. So I actually got involved from the Goals for Girls program. I'm actually one of its co-founders of the program. Was part of it during the my second year, actually, at the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum through a partnership from the Motorola Solutions Foundation. So they actually were able to start and support this initiative of getting girls in New York City excited about STEM. And GOALS is an acronym that stands for Greater Opportunities Advancing Leadership and Science.
Nice. Um, so what inspired you to create Goals for Girls?
Another great question, Madison. Thank you. Well, during my time as an undergraduate student at Alfred University, I was one of the very few Black girls as a part of my geology track. So that was a really difficult time for me getting involved in STEM and science and not really finding much representation of even Black, Hispanic, or people of color in the field. And even as I moved into my graduate degree at the University of South Florida College of Marine Science, there were still few women of color in the marine science track at the university. But what was great was a program called Oceanography Camp for Girls and another fellowship program funded by the National Science Foundation, who provided, or the program provided, undergraduates with opportunities to really expand our skills in teaching science, in making science more accessible, more fun through this graduate program. And there I learned how to communicate science more effectively, how to hone my skills in getting the public excited about science. And the Oceanography Camp for Girls, created by Dr. Teresa Greeley, really gave me an opportunity to expand my skills in speaking with, learning with girls in Pinellas County, Florida. And I actually use Oceanography Camp for Girls as a model for the Goals for Girls summer program.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's really nice. I didn't know that. Wow, this is just, you're doing your thing.
Thanks, Madison.
You're welcome. Okay, so how did you expand your network in order to provide more opportunities for your organization?
Wow. Wonderful questions, I must say. Well, it wasn't easy. So even starting the Camp Goals for Girls in 2009, I really didn't have much expertise or background in New York City education and understanding what it takes to commit to a program with a very vast community. New York City and all five boroughs, the very diverse and challenging, sometimes challenging communities to get them excited about STEM, especially when this program was so new in 2009. It was also just as challenging to partner um, with different organizations and institutions to do field trips and workshops, again, because it was so new. Well, I knew that this was something that was so important to incorporate into New York City that I did the grassroots effort, right? I cold called, I emailed, I went to meetings, and I really talked about the importance of providing girls, especially New York City girls, with STEM opportunities, not only for them to learn about STEM and all it takes to be in STEM, but also youth development, finding their own voice, being connected with other women in STEM fields, and understanding how mentorship is just as important. So after I found my footing and my voice and ways to communicate about goals, it made it so much easier. I was able to make so many connections with women in STEM, with organizations like the American Museum of Natural History, New York Hall of Science, and so many others who really saw the importance of providing girls, New York City girls, with opportunities in STEM and youth development.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. It really, when I was a part of it, it really did give me a voice, and it was one of the first times. The second time, well, before it was coding, but with that, it really helped me zoom in on what I was wanted to be focused in, and it gave me a glimpse of other areas in the field as well. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So glad to hear.
So what are some hardships you went through as a woman in your work environment or in general, and how did you get past it?
Oh, that's a great question as well. So I'll talk firstly about my time as a undergraduate and a graduate student. Now, like I said earlier, I was one of the very few Black girls in my classes. So that made it really difficult to connect with my peers. I definitely had friends and colleagues through the multicultural clubs, but they weren't necessarily connected to my field of study, right? They were either in business or economics, a totally different track. So I wasn't really able to connect all the things that I was learning through my subject areas with my peers. They would find it fascinating, but as you know, having someone who is going through the same track as you makes it that much easier to connect. So
Mhm.
that was one of the challenges, is really not finding my tribe, so to speak, in my field of study as an undergraduate and graduate student. Now, as a graduate student, when I was a part of the National Science Foundation's GK-12 Oceans program, I was more readily able to find my tribe. I was able to find women and students who were excited about marine science and understood a little bit of what I was going through. I was able to find colleagues of color, especially using the counseling and career department. I would say that was one of the really important things. If you're going through a hard time and you're not really able to express it, especially since I was down in Florida without my immediate family, then I really had to take that leap to go to a counseling and career center, the counseling center, and really speak it through, not being afraid to show your emotions and reaching out to talk to somebody when you're having a hard time. So they were able to really help me put things in perspective and take the initiative to speak to my advisors about what I was going through. And then that made it so much easier. Now, when I landed the job at the Intrepid, finding my footing in my own career, that was my first full-time job out of graduate school, was the Intrepid Sea Air and Space Museum. So as you know, as a new employee, coming back to New York from Florida, being a new mom, that had its own challenges as well. But being surrounded by family and friends, because I'm from Queens, New York, that made it much easier for me to cope and strive and survive with being a new mom, having a first time job, and having those challenges of really trying to make a difference in the field.
Wow, that was a great response. Wow. I had to just take it all in. You're
Thank you.
welcome. So what is your favorite part about your role in Goals for Girls?
My favorite part are opportunities like this, having my goals alum reach back out to me and say, oh my goodness, Shay, I've learned so much, or can you be a speaker, or here's what I'm doing, how can I give back? That is my ultimate favorite part of my job. It's hearing from the goals alum, it's hearing from their family and their friends, and seeing how the goals program impacted them, even a tiny bit, right? It doesn't have to be, oh my God, I'm going to be an engineer and I'm in this field. It could be, I've learned so much about STEM. I'm so excited to be a lawyer, but I found that there's so many synergies between being a lawyer and understanding the world of science, technology, engineering, and math that has helped me be an advocate or an asset to whatever career you're into, right? Your job of choice. So I'm just excited to see the Goals Girls give back, come back, share their journey with girls, up and coming new Goals Girls, and really paying it forward. So that's what I'm always excited about from year to year.
Thank you. I love that response. I really do. If there is any, who is your female role model that helped you over the course of your life?
Oh, wow. Well, I have two. The first one, personally, of course, is my mom, right? Because moms are awesome. So my mom, she continues to be so supportive, so dear in my life. She provides me, myself, and my siblings with so much support and love and openness. And she just always is our favorite cheerleader. So my mom would be my first one personally. And professionally, even though I don't work with her anymore, she no longer is at the Intrepid. She is also the co-founder of Goals. She helped to challenge my way of thinking and making sure to find sustainable practices for the Goals program, inclusive of thinking about the evaluation and assessment of long-term programs. So I would say Sherry Levinsky Raskin is my second role model in my professional world, and I really thank her for all of her support and all of her advocacy, and really sharing with the broader Intrepid Museum staff that I am a capable and dedicated person. So I would say Sherry Levinsky Raskin, most definitely.
Wow. I love that. You know, us women and girls, we need a support system to grow. And even if you're an adult, you still need it to keep growing. So I love that response as well. I just love all your responses.
Thank you. Thank you so
um,
much.
so last but not least, what is your message to girls all around the world?
Oh, wow. Whew, that's a big question or a big change to make. I would say my message to girls around the world is don't be afraid to try new things, right? Because things can be so daunting and so scary. And I remember being, a young girl, and I was always nervous. I was always scared. I didn't want to try. I didn't want to talk. I was very shy. Like I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing that unless my sister was doing it or unless my friends were doing it. Find your tribe to help you if you are shy, right? Because those are some things you can't help. But find your tribe, people who can support you and push you for those little challenges, right? To go outside your comfort zone and really think about how you can make your mark in the world and think about how you can be memorable, right? So whatever career or whatever job or whatever internship or whatever entrepreneur endeavor you want to get into, think about how you can be memorable and make your mark in a positive way that can showcase your full talent because we're all not just one thing. We're more than the sum of our parts, right? So be your holistic and true self, and don't forget that you are enough.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will be taking that message with me, and I hope the girls that see this take that message with them as well. Thank you so much for talking to me. If you have any questions for me, then you can go ahead if you would like. But thanks again for talking to me and taking your time out. It was really, really nice to speak to you again, and I just love this interview.
Thank you so much, Madison. And I appreciate you reaching out to me for this great opportunity. And I could already see how much the Goals Summer Program has affected you. And I just hope we can continue working together to give other girls and women opportunities to share their stories. So thank you so
Right.
much.
That's the goal. Bring more women in.
Great. Thank you again.
Thank you.